It's only showing live on the Rogue.
Should be live.
All right, let me check. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Just double check, turn up your sound, and make sure that it's all good.
Oh, hey there, Hill Kings. How are you guys doing? No, it doesn't show it as live yet. It just shows it as scheduled to go live.
Not sure why I sent all the information.
Heidi ho, neighborino. There's Arthur. What's up, Artie?
Okay, I sent him the link.
Yeah, he said he was sitting right there waiting on it, so he should.
It shows live on both.
Oh, okay. Well, it might just be I need to refresh probably.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we're good.
Hey, we got sound and
There we go.
everything.
Yep, we're good. We're in the business.
That's good. All right, Roadcaster, live. All right. So, are we waiting on him for a Friday? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, he's gonna join us for Friday.
Hi, everybody. I'm gonna eat a snipper. Well, how about that? Put that in your Christmas pipe and smoke it.
I had reached out to him.
Who's this guy
ago now?
again?
His name is Danny D.
Mm-hmm.
Cosplay, and he cosplays a really good, convincing Bobby Hill.
Oh,
And
cool.
I'd reached out to him before.
Yeah.
And got lost in the sauce and just never put 2 and 2 together to make 4. So we had to reconfigure, and I messaged him again and apologized to him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'll be glad to. So
Okay, cool.
he is pretty excited himself.
Hello, Jamie. So if that is your real name.
So yeah, hopefully he'll.
If you were coming up with a fake name for yourself, what would it be?
Fake name for myself? I've already done that.
You gotta get that, but I'm saying, like, if you had to go on the lamb.
Oh, if I had to go on the lamb, Larry Carroll Dean.
Larry Carroll Dean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Carroll Dean being the last name. Altogether.
Oh, it's all one thing.
Carroll Dean. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to explain that every time.
Yeah, I'll be like, well, that's the thing is nobody would expect Larry Carroll Dean to be on the lamb. Oh, yeah. There's Danny right there. The link should be in your email, buddy.
Yeah, we just sent it.
I think we just sent it to you. But yeah, Larry Carroll Dean. I think that would be really good. I think that would be pretty.
Is your real name Lawrence in that situation?
Lawrence Carroll Dean. Yeah.
Okay.
No relation.
You got a middle name?
Carroll Dean. They ask if that's your middle name.
Carroll Dean.
Yeah, they say, is that your middle name or your last name? Yes.
Yes. Hyphenated, so it's both. I don't know what else I look like other than a mic.
Well, you do look like a mic.
Skip.
A skip? What would that be short for?
Skipperton.
Skipperton. Skip to my Lou.
Hello, I am Skipperton.
I am Skippy Skipperton.
I will be your host today. Oh, look at there. We got a man.
We got a man. I'm Larry Carroll Dean. Pleasure to meet you.
Good God. What's up, sir? How are you?
Doing good. How about you all?
We're doing okay. I'm Mike. That's Rusty.
I'm Rusty. I'm the one you've been communicating with.
In the right direction. Nope, I'm not.
Nice to meet you.
Move a couple things around here real quick.
All right,
there we go. All right, Danny, give me a little idea of what you want to talk about other than looking like Bobby Hill.
Well, For anyone who knows, I'm Danny D Cosplay. I do a lot of Bobby Hill, King of Hill stuff.
Well, hey, I tell you what. Give me 1 second. Let's do it this way. Let me
Do our
intro the
intro.
show,
Yeah.
and then you can
Okay.
just go little spiel, and we'll just react if you're cool. With that.
Okay.
All right. What part of the country are you in?
I'm up in Wisconsin, so
All right.
Okay.
So it's nice and warm up there.
Bobby Hill country.
yep.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Little more snow up here, though.
I don't think so. As long as you might want to double check. You might want to record over there just in case. Okay. Yeah. All right. Here we go, Danny. Give me 1 second.
Mhm.
Let's do this. Got that going. All right. Here we go.
bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Cat drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, looky here.
Hey.
Here we are back
Yeah.
again. That intro, it just gets longer and longer every week.
Yeah, it does. It feels so long.
Hey, welcome to bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
That is Rusty. The other man you see on the screen, this is Danny. Danny, introduce yourself.
Howdy, I'm Danny D Cosplay. Most of you would know me as the Bobby Hill cosplayer. I do a lot of King of Hill stuff and am known for doing that, and then a lot of anime characters.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll get to the anime characters. I'm super interested in that background you got going on there. You've got a lot of King of the Hill memorabilia back there. Tell us about
Yeah, so I have a lot of pet posters, got the purse,
Oh,
and then I got
whose purse is that?
good old ink.
Hey, whose purse is that, by the way?
That's my purse.
All right, good.
I don't know you.
So tell me, Danny, about why did this happen? How did you get to where we are?
So, funny enough, I mean, I always watched King of Hill growing up,
Sure.
but what started all this out is that one day I cut my hair real short on accident. Instead of saying like a buzz cut number 3 or something, I said buzz cut 1. Well, also, I started walking around. Everybody's calling me Bobby Hill. So to kind of be in on the joke, I decided I was going, well, I go to conventions. I might as well dress up as Bobby. I'll do it as a one-time thing. Everybody will get a laugh, and I'll be done with it.
Sure.
Well, going to the convention, starting as Bobby Hill, when I first started this, it got weird when all of a sudden there's a line of 30 people wanting to take my picture. As we go, well, I guess I am this now.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, actually, I think I first saw you on like something that went viral.
Mhm.
I first saw you because I've talked to you once before to try to get you on the show, and then like things happened, and I
That
just
was my
forgot to recontact you. And I linked back up with you again to have you on. But yeah, I saw you off of some viral thing that went viral, whether it was like a cracked article or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, I gotta have this dude on our show. This is awesome because you see a lot of Bobby Hill cosplay out there, but
Mhm.
you went viral. So you're like the pinnacle of what I see as Bobby Hill cosplay. You're like the best that I've ever seen. So I thought it would be interesting to have you on. I appreciate you coming on with us, Danny.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So what
But
kind of events? You said you go to conferences and things.
so I do a lot of Comic-Con like things. So I've done like C2E2, which is the Chicago Comic-Con.
Mhm.
I have done a lot of Anime Con, so Anime Central in Chicago,
Okay.
Colossal Con North up in the Wisconsin Dells.
Sure.
Uh, I do Fan Expo Chicago. I'm planning to do a couple of Fan Expos in Ohio. So I do a lot of like I stick to the anime ones a lot of times only because they're nearby, but I do a lot of Comic Cons as well.
Well, King of the Hill is anime, so it
That's what I tell everybody.
anime. So
And believe it or not, when I've had the people come up that do the whole dub versus sub fight and have fought in front of me about which one's better. So it's like going, see, it is the anime.
Are you do you do something else during the day? Are you employed otherwise?
Yeah, I'm a drafter by nature, so I draw like a dairy and pharmaceutical plant piping.
Wow. Okay.
oh, that's awesome.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's something. Do you do it mostly remotely or do you go in?
I go in. It's around where I'm at.
Okay. Okay.
A
Yeah, I
lot
actually,
of my work's mostly working from home.
Right.
yeah.
Or
I actually used to work at a candy factory, so we used to work with drafters and stuff that were doing all the overhead pipes and stuff inside the candy factory. I used to manufacture Snickers, actually.
ooh,
Yeah, he was on the line and we talked last week about how bad chocolate smells.
Yeah, raw chocolate, like in its raw form or whatever, whenever, because there's like a component of the factory where they make the raw chocolate, and it doesn't smell the best. The liquid hot
my
chocolate,
worst one has been vanilla syrup.
Oh yeah.
vanilla syrup. Ooh, yeah, that's
Vanilla syrup, I bet
we would
does
deal
not smell
with
good.
raw vanilla crystals, like the crystalline form of it. Like you're not even supposed to like breathe it in because it'll scar your lungs up. But that
Mhm.
stuff right there would smell really, really bad. Like if you got it on your skin, you'd have to go wash your hands immediately because it would like rub your skin raw.
So,
Ah,
Danny, what's the where do you want to take this? What's the biggest thing? Is it just a hobby, or do you want to actually turn it into something, or what are you thinking?
this has always kind of been the hobby for me. I mean, I started doing the costumes just because I started going to conventions, and it kind of wound up being the well, I feel like I got to do something at these cons.
Yeah,
And for me, Bobby Hill's kind of that one of I like just having everybody laugh.
sure,
So
sure.
so when I'm at a con and all of a sudden you hear across the like merchandise hall or someone screaming, that's my purse. It's like
Yeah. So what's admirable to me is that it started as a joke, and you just took control of it and said, "Well, screw it,
mhm,
I'll do it my way." Then that's
yeah.
when you got to do it.
And I think that's kind of what's been the best of it. Like all my cosplay stuff kind of originally started off as a joke in some way. It's
Sure.
like, oh, I don't like something about myself. Well, let's throw it in the cosplay. I
There you-
didn't used to like being called Danny a lot, so
Oh, really?
so I made that the username,
Yeah.
and now I'm quite okay with it, and that's what people know me on. So
So you were going by Dan? Is that
I go by Daniel usually. I like the formal.
okay? Okay. Yeah, that's super formal. Yeah, that's super formal versus completely informal. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. That's all. Yeah. My God-given born American name or whatever is Michael, and the only people that get to call me that are my wife and my mother. So yeah, Mike has always been that thing. I was having this conversation with my wife last night though about, well, it was a one-way conversation. I was talking, she was ignoring me, but it's like Danny, God, what did I run across? Some names just don't sound good on adult people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what you were fighting also, right? Like, I don't want anybody calling me Mikey. You know,
Well, and I think this is why I kind of added it to the cosplay, because then it becomes the fun. It's like
Yep.
going, if you're gonna know me as Danny, well, you know me for the goofy side that I
Yeah.
do, and
Yeah, you took it back, and that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
I can kind of relate. It's not that I hate my real name, but Rusty has become a nickname. Through my Facebook username and stuff like that, it's just become like people that meet me in life now. A lot of people don't even know my real name. They just know me as Rusty. They don't even know what my actual name is. And sometimes it's odd because I'll be in public and I'll hear my real name, somebody like calling me, from the distance or something, and I'm like, oh, that's somebody that really knows me. So I'm like hiding behind the shelves or something like that. I'm like, I don't want to talk to this person.
and that's kind of how I use mine too, because it's like going, if anybody at a con calls me by my actual name, then so I go, oh, you must know me
That's right.
outside the
You
cosplay.
can tell business from cosplay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's the same way for me. So if I hear my real name, I'm like, maybe I want to avoid whatever person is trying to, like, let's just go down this aisle real quick.
So let me ask you two more questions. One is give me an idea of your favorite King of the Hill episode. I'm sure you get asked that all the time, but there's got to be one. Doesn't have to involve Bobby. If you had to boil it down out of 13 seasons, which one would you say?
So I think if if I have to pick, I don't like the parts of the episode because it's when Peggy's doing the feet stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because I love the comment at the Bobby. It's like, look, Mom, I'm fat. It's like going, I'm gonna be fat. I'm always gonna be fat. It's like going. People will like me for it. People won't.
Yeah.
So to me, that's always like been the big one.
Yeah,
that's a good episode. I like that
That's a
episode.
great
Like I said,
episode,
I'm not
yeah.
really big on
Yeah.
the whole foot fetish part of the episode, but
I think it's funny as
That-
hell, though. I
that-
think,
that stuff-
and if anybody was ever going to be into it, it was going to be Bill. So
Yeah.
that's
feetfinders.com. Yeah.
okay. So here's the tough question, Danny. The reboot. Yay,
Yeah,
nay?
the reboot.
What do
That
you
was
think?
the question I was going to ask. Yeah.
So I like the reboot for one thing. I can play an adult for once,
There you go.
Yeah.
which is just funny on its own, because since I always look like this, no matter where I'm at, it
Right.
kind of comes down to no one believes that I'm 35.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, you do not look 35.
Yeah, you don't look 35.
So, have you seen some of the leaks on what they're saying Bobby's going to be?
Yeah, I saw the voice actress leak when she first posted it.
Yeah.
And the first thing I did was screenshot that, and at the last con I did my adult version of it. So I got the chef hat and the things that they showed in it.
Oh, that's perfect.
And so I'm excited to see how it will go.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it will go well.
Me too.
But even if it don't, at least I can say that I had one season of it and I got another character.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Well, Hulu announced 2 seasons. We just found out about that last.
Even better.
Yeah, they've confirmed at
14 and
least
15.
2, so
Yeah.
we get at least 2 seasons. The only thing that I'm concerned with is like the new formatting for animated shows, where we used to get 20 to 22 episodes, but now you get like 10. So I'm hoping that
You're gonna get 2. You're gonna get less episodes, but they're gonna call it two.
yeah, it's
2 seasons.
the
Yeah.
same amount of episodes you
Yeah.
would get in one season,
Yeah.
it wrapped into 2. So I hope that they have somewhere between like 15, 16 episodes per season, but you never know with the new way to do stuff.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm always just kind of iffy on it. It's like, I hope that it's a full 12 episode season,
Yeah.
like what they've done.
It would be
But
great.
I think as long as it goes good and they kind of keep the characters justice, I think we'll all be happy.
I agree.
I agree.
So, how many other things do you have anything else planned before the end of the year?
Probably not for the end of this year. Usually, the Colossal Con North, like my last one.
Yeah.
I mean, around now, it's usually me just making TikToks or different things like that. But so
You ever
at
do,
this moment, this is kind of like my cool down area.
I got you. Do you ever do like commissions or like cameo type stuff?
Not really. I haven't had anything of necessarily of like people will want to take my picture, but as far as it goes, with this just kind of being my hobby,
Okay.
my thought of my thought always kind of comes down to you don't need to pay me. If you want something, just ask and I'll see what I can do.
Well, that's very nice of you.
Yeah, that is nice of
you
you.
seem like a very nice guy.
Especially in today's society, everybody, as soon as they have like a viral moment or they have, things like that, they start to figure out how much money they could like suck out of the situation. And then they end up doing like coin rug pulls and end up with the feds on them and stuff. Like the Hawk Tua girl, that recent thing where she just did the coin rug pull. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, that's admirable for sure.
Have you found your
Well,
Hank?
what's that?
Have you found your Hank?
This has been my biggest thing. I have many people that look like Hank.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was like, man, if he could just find a Hank to follow him around, that would be great.
I have one friend where we have the deal out that as long as that he goes to my conventions as Dale and I go to any of his Halloween stuff as his Morty for Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Look at y'all double dipping.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Danny, man, it was a pleasure to meet you. Really enjoyed talking to you. And I hope that we can do this again down the line. One of the things that we were trying to plan is when they drop the new episodes, we'll probably be watching them live with some of our folks on the channel here. So we'll drop you a line, see if you're available.
Yeah. If I can join, I will.
That's great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to have you on,
great.
man.
All right. Well, Danny, thank you so much. Give us your ways that people can get in touch with you and kind of watch what you're doing.
So I'm Danny Cosplay. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I just got a YouTube to save all the TikTok posts too. So
Very nice.
Awesome.
but
And so-
yeah, you can find me at anything that says Danny D Cosplay.
And so it's Danny_D_cosplay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna save that in my phone there so that I got it. And Danny, try not to go outside because I think it's cold where you're at.
Yeah, a little too cold.
You've only got like 6 more months of that. It's fine. All right. Well, hey, take care of yourself, and thank you again for coming on bwaaa. We really appreciate it. It's nice.
Yeah,
to
we
meet
appreciate you so much, Danny. I'll keep in touch with you, man. Thank you so much.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad to be on here.
Give us one little Bobby thing on the way out. What you got?
That's my purse. I don't know you.
There you go. That's
There you
it,
go.
man. Nice job. All right. We'll see you.
See ya.
Man, that was
awesome.
cool, huh?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd reached out to him before, and one of them slipped my mind things and lost him in the sauce. And then I just happened to be scrolling through, man, and I saw him again, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him again and get him on
he
here.
was very nice.
I actually
Very nice
have
guy.
before we cut the Friday episode,
Mhm.
I actually have a quick email.
Yeah, please.
We got another.
Just a gripe or a or a praise?
A little bit.
But I'll take either. I don't care.
A little bit of both. It's a
right.
revival gripe again.
All right, let's go.
This is from Trey.
Trey.
So here we go. Hey, y'all. Really enjoy the pod, except for when the revival gets brought up. Because I also have no faith in it, and I just want to enjoy KOTH as it is before the George Orwell version as mad-libbed by Lisa Simpson comes out. I related and still relate to it this day, despite not looking like any of the main cast, which is a concept lost on DEI Hollywood. But there are co-workers of mine at my job where I listen to your podcast who look like certain characters from King of the Hill. And while politics get brought up, it doesn't stir up drama despite not sharing the same views. Heck, my boss met and shook hands with Trump, but didn't deny the Enrique of our job a bigger bonus like the rest of us because he voted for Harris. And this was during our company dinner before Thanksgiving. I don't participate in politics, but he didn't deny me that either. However, it was still funny that he gave us all gold printed Trump bucks as a joke. Really, the only drama was a slight scoffing remark some folks made about one of our staff being a Raiders fan. All right. If the revival, hold on, I got a little bit more.
Yeah.
if the revival does go the usual route, then I am thankful I can still enjoy a different adult animated sitcom in the vein of King of the Hill, but came out decades before it. I won't say what the name is because obscurity keeps it safe from new Hollywood, along with other forgotten media, which were allowed to rest in peace instead of being used for necrophilia.
Wait, he's talking about a show that came out decades before, an adult animated
No, he said
show.
if the revival goes the usual route, which he is saying
I
that the
see what you're
usual
saying.
route is quote unquote woke.
Hmm.
He said, I'm thankful I can still enjoy a different adult animated sitcom in the vein of King of the Hill, but came out decades before it. So he's talking about if the revival sucks,
Yeah.
he still has the old King of the Hill to go watch.
This is Trey Trey.
This is Trey, aka Mr. Word Salad.
Trey, let me say something real quick, and this is not pointed at you.
I hope you understood what he wrote. I don't really understand a
Well,
lot of that, but I get the gist.
Here's the issue. I think everybody's worried about it being woke, right? They're worried about this thing coming out and being woke, and
it's a big concern. It seems like
it does seem like a big concern. But by the way, aliens could land tomorrow too. So why don't we not worry about it until it happens?
Well, not only not worry about it until it happens. Does anybody ever watch anything that this dude has ever made? Mike Judge, have you? If anybody has literally watched anything that he's ever made, the dude was woke before woke was woke.
I have faith in him. I don't think he's going to put out a terrible product.
Really,
but we've said that many times.
What other adult animated sitcom at that time, other than maybe Family Guy, but Family Guy was more about joking about things than actually like addressing the situation and talking about it in a humane, like humanity driven way, I guess you could say. Transsexuals or cross-dressing and stuff like that, they address that on there. They address so many different things, like, you know, homosexuality, drug use, like alcohol. They address so much different stuff.
Well, our Monday episode's about meth, and I was thinking, like, you know, as I was getting the notes ready on Sunday, at this time when this came out, that episode came out, I think it was like 2002.
Yeah,
none of us were thinking about that.
No,
that was a new thing. You know, meth is just prevalent everywhere.
Yeah, like it was in the middle. Like at that point, it was like the beginning of the epidemic or whatever of methamphetamine. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like nobody, you know, if you want to talk about woke or whatever, you need to go watch. Man, what's the movie? I don't know why I can't think of the name of it right now. The movie with Terry Crews as president.
Oh yeah, Idiocracy.
Yeah. Go watch Idiocracy. Just go watch that. Go put that on.
By the way,
and watch it.
Is a Mike Judge movie.
It's a Mike Judge movie. Go watch that and tell me that Mike Judge is not woke or whatever you want to call it. I really don't like that term. I think it's silly.
I
think it's just a buzzword that somebody heard.
It is a buzzword. It fits on a hat.
It's like DEI and all that. They're just buzzwords that people hear, and I don't think they truly understand the definition.
Here's my take on that whole situation. Right, we're all Americans. Most of us that are watching this.
Yeah, I'm not an American.
Well, you know what I mean. and we are all living in the purple, right? I don't live in red. You don't live in red. He doesn't live in blue. You don't live in blue. We're all right down the middle, and it's because we have stuff we have to take care of every single day. We can't focus just on politics. We can't focus on just on race. We can't. So what they're doing is they're poking at us, and they're trying to get us riled up against each other, because if they can separate us from each other, then they have all the power. If there are way more of us than there are of them, so just keep being nice to your neighbor. And then when the shit hits the fan, we're in it together. That's all I can tell you.
Unless your neighbor's Con Sufanusen phone.
I'll even take Con Sufanusen phone. Hey, just real quick in the chat here, we had Jamie Batista. He's a shout out Chicago. He also says that season 7, episode 3 is a great episode. I agree. Blah, 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 says yo. And then Jamie asked a question. How do you feel about international students / people giving themselves American names because Americans can't pronounce their real name?
You know, I saw a video where
Phil Gillis says book.
Somebody's on like college campus and they're going around and talking to people from different countries.
Yep. And
they're saying, well, what's your American name? Well, what's your real name? And I think if it makes somebody comfortable, whatever they want to, like, it's just
call
like
yourself whatever you want.
It's just like me calling you Mike instead of Mikey or Michael. You know, whatever your preferred name is, I'll call you by whatever name that is. It's like the guys who call you on telemarketer. Hello, my name is Joe. You know, like,
and
I don't really care what the dude's real name is, kind of thing.
That's the one I was going to bring up, is like whenever they make them use those American names as telemarketers.
Yeah.
That's more racist to me than you telling me your actual name and me just going, oh shoot, I'm having trouble pronouncing that. Tell me again. I have no problem with that. It's when these corporations and these companies try to dumb us down and herd us all as sheep into one different place. That's when I have a problem with it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I could care less what your name is. I will try my best. I taught, for a long time, and in the classroom, I ran across some weird ass names. And but you know what? Those same kids with those weird ass names probably couldn't pronounce my name. And so it's fine. It's a learning thing. We're supposed to get along. We're supposed to be neighbors. And so I'll call you by whatever you want me to call you by. You call me by what I want to be called by. We're done. We're done here. We don't have to do anything else. We're good.
There you go, Jamie. Or
so
Jaiome.
Yeah, Jamie, you got a great point.
Or Jaime.
Yeah, whatever it is. And correct me if I'm wrong. But again, had a kid named Exxon in one of my classes.
Oh,
but
wow.
I
went to school with
I gotta call him Exxon.
I went to school with a lot of crazy names, and I went to school with this huge Romanian family, and each of them had
like in stature or
massive, like as in
like 9
the
feet
woman.
tall.
The woman was pregnant from 1984 to like 2004 or 5. She had like 20 years of birthing children, and at one point in the school that I went to. From grades 1 to 12 or grades kindergarten to 12, there was at least 1 or 2 in each grade. Yeah. But they had names that were hard to spell and you would pronounce it wrong. And they would tell you, this is the Romanian way. I said, I don't care how you pronounce it, but they would teach you, well, this is the Romanian way, like Lucian like it was Lucian. I said, oh, well, Lucian. Yeah. And he was like, no, it's Luchin. And I was like, oh, okay. Or
totally open
Elise. And he's like, no, it's Elise or Elise.
Totally open to learning whatever you want to teach me, man. And my ignorance should not be a reason for hatred. If I'm willing to learn, then I expect the same from you. That's it.
And I think that's
stop being pulled apart by these politicians, people.
And I think that's a big thing is that we're not really conditioned for people to treat us right. We expect people to be instantly rude to us in America. And I think that we got to get back to being personable people and being kind to everybody. I feel like there's a lot of kindness in the world that's being thrown to the side.
Well, that's true.
Just because somebody's wearing a hat that's red or wearing a hat that's blue, or they support this person or they support that person.
It's
at the end of the day, we're all in the big bowl of soup together. You know what I mean? Like we're all in this big bowl together and we got to coexist.
So. Exactly it. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thanks for being in the room. Thanks for just being here. Whether you're listening to it now, you're watching the live feed, or you're listening to it later, just know that we can't do this without you, and we certainly appreciate you being here. I love your questions. I love your emails. I love your calls. I don't think we put the phone number up in a while, but we'll do that. Make sure it's in the notes. Because if you guys want to call us and leave us a message, call us and leave us a message. We'll play it. You come into the chat room and talk to us. We'll shout you out. I mean, we're just looking to have a good time here and be
community driven.
Yeah. Well, we want to be part of your life as you are ours. So, I mean, as far as you'll let us go, that's where we'll go. But thanks again for being here. Rusty, you want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at bwaaa.koth. That's on all social medias, as well as some of the new ones. We're on Blue Sky and Scoops. Scoops is a premier video entertainment platform that is growing pretty great. It's growing pretty big. It's actually we have over 12,000 views now, 13,000 views.
By the way, I saw my first commercial for the Chick-fil-A streaming network.
That is going to be abysmal, but I don't know who's going to watch that.
It's like an animated. It's not really what they're saying it is. It's not really a streaming network. What it is it's an app by Chick-fil-A where you can go and watch their crappy movies that they've made over the years. Like they make those family-friendly,
evangelical
animated
movies. All evangelical stuff.
It's all we got to find the true meaning of Christmas, boy. And then you pat your head on the dog and then you look at the cross or something. I don't know how those movies go, but I'm assuming. Anyway, it was fascinating to me. I saw that commercial and the family's all like, oh my gosh, we have to watch the bliggers a blogger bling blong or whatever they called it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure chicken's involved at some point, but and maybe the cows are evil. I don't know. All right, so come back again. We appreciate it. We're getting real close to Christmas, folks. We're gonna have to do something special. We love you, and we'll see you. I guess next. Oh wait, there's one more thing left to say.
If you're on the live stream, stick around. More content coming. We Matanye.
We Matanye, indeed. We'll see you. Ooh, it takes me forever to find this thing. Oh, there it is. Bye.
bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
All right, and we're back, folks. Give us about 2 minutes, and we'll get started on the regular episode if you want to hang around.
No, so my sister, for because my son's birthday's on Monday, she bought him Tyler the Creator tickets.
Oh wow!
So we're going to see Tyler the Creator in March, and then
Where at?
she Austin down in Moody Center, and then in May she bought tickets for everybody to go see Post Malone and Jelly Roll in AT&T Stadium. So
oh wow,
it'll be his first two massive concerts.
One in Dallas.
Yeah, honestly, it's like it'll be my biggest concert to go to, because I've been to Moody Center for a bunch of stuff, but going to AT&T Stadium for somebody as big as Post Malone and Jelly Roll, that'll be the first, that'll be the biggest concert that I've ever been to.
What do you guys think of Jelly Roll?
Yeah, what do you guys think of Jelly Roll? I like Jelly Roll. I've listened to Jelly Roll since Jelly Roll was rapping. There was a guy named Lil White.
I've listened to Jelly Roll since Jelly Roll was a jelly sandwich.
Yeah, since he was a jelly sandwich. Well, he was a rapper, and he had just gotten out of prison, and there was like a 13-minute freestyle video or something that got posted on the internet of Jelly Roll rapping. And there's he's from the Memphis, Tennessee. He's from a place called Antioch, but he's in that area.
Antioch.
Tennessee. And there's another rapper from that area named Lil White, and he was signed by 3 6 Mafia. Well, when he got out of jail, Jelly Roll posted that video or whatever, it got posted, and Lil White picked him up to put him on the label too. So he was on the label with 3 6 Mafia, and obviously his rap career
since he did songs with Haystack
didn't go. Yeah, Haystack. There you go.
Since he was just a jelly biscuit.
Yeah, he did the white country rap. No, I wouldn't call it country rap, but he did the white rap. But he mainly appealed to the country guys, white country guys.
Right.
And to see his evolution to be what he is now is what's interesting to me. He went from pretty much being a nobody to being one of the current top artists in the industry. And he did it, I wouldn't say it was independently, because he did have a machine behind him, obviously, but the fact that he went from a guy who was, not many people break out at 30 something years old. The fact that he's like 38, he's like 40 now, but the fact that he broke out like 2 years ago at 38 years old, I think it instills like a certain confidence in people that are older. Like, you can still make it. It's not over yet. Like, just because you're 35 years old and you play guitar and you sing and you bounce from bar to bar singing and nobody really knows who you are yet, it does not mean that it's over for you. And I think that's like what's great about him, is he pushes that message out. And I really like what he does for jail outreach. At one of his concerts, he had somehow got the sheriff to allow 4 inmates that they did a rendition of his song for him. It was like a music program inside of jail, and they performed one of his songs for him on one of his jail visits. and he somehow convinced the sheriff to bring them to his concert
Huh.
and let him do their version of that song on stage in front of 20,000 people, however many it was, and just doing stuff like that. Because I feel like our jail system and everything, the way it's set up, is not for success, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to, like, there is life after your problems. Like, you can get better, you can do better, you can still be successful. And I you know, I know a lot of people that I grew up with in my life that didn't have that same mindset or message given to them, so they thought that, well, I'm a criminal now, I'll be a criminal forever. You know, this is just a part of the system that I grew up in, and I'll always be in and out of jail. So, and most of those people are either dead or in prison for the rest of their lives right now. So the fact that he outreaches to the lost in the world, I really appreciate. That's why I like Jelly Roll the most, really.
Understand about what you just said, and it's not what you said, but this criminal system in general is, once you've gone and done your time and served all of it, why does that follow you around the rest
It
of your
follows you
life?
forever. It does. It
You
follows you
never
forever.
pay your debt.
You never
which
really pay your
sucks.
debt. Some
Which
people,
sucks.
depending on their crime, don't really, I don't think, deserve absolution from their crimes.
If they don't deserve absolution from their crimes, why are they out?
Child molesters being one of them. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's
Then why are you
that's a
out?
weird. No, you're right. Yeah, I agree
You
with
know?
you. I agree with you too.
These guys get caught with children 9 times before they go to jail.
Yeah.
So, you know,
the system's
don't tell
broken
me
is what that says.
system's in good shape. All right. So I promise this will be funny this time. We're done with all that stuff.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Bill
morose
Gillis
shit.
says, in fairness, he's always been pretty big. Yeah, that's a good
But,
double entendre there. Yeah, nice
yeah.
job. All right, let's see. I got to play that intro one more time, guys.
Intro one more time. Here we go, guys.
bwaaa trash fight all through the night. Deep in the heart of Texas, the trailer park is nice and dark. Deep in the heart of Texas, that drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
Hey there.
Hey,
Hello.
everybody.
Hi there. Ho there. Hello there.
Bwaaa.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to bwaaa,
Bwaaa.
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am rusty, still rusty.
Rusty. How you feeling, man?
Up and down.
Yeah.
Some days are better than others.
Yeah.
A little sluggish these days, but
Yeah.
I'm still getting it.
Getting a little better though. Like your stamina coming back up.
It's up and down,
Huh.
honestly. Like some days I'm full of energy and I can make it past noon
Okay, here's
without feeling sleepy.
here's the real big question, right? And this is something I haven't asked you since you got sick.
Yeah.
What did you eat that day? You don't tell
Oh.
me where you went, but tell me what you ate.
Oh, I had a number one cheeseburger, just a regular
plain old thing,
cheeseburger
right?
with mustard, lettuce, tomatoes, onions.
Bill
pickles.
says you're feeling a little rusty.
Yeah, feeling a little rusty.
Very nice. Yeah. that's good
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm feeling a little rusty.
Okay. Well,
This is my
that's,
lubrication. I'm drinking my lubrication here.
Lubrication.
Well, I'm rusty, right? You got to lubricate it to rusty.
I get it.
It's just hot tea, but
We
it
forget
keeps
to spray
me.
'em down.
It's where I derive a lot of my energy from these days.
Hey,
Nice hot
I've
tea.
got one thing to talk about, guys. And if you don't mind, give me like 2 minutes here. We are part of a network called Rogue Media Network. Rogue Media Network is once a year we do a thing where we shut down the streets here and we do a big battle of the bands, and it's a block party kind of thing. Last year I couldn't even tell you how many thousand people were there, but it was
it's pretty
great.
awesome.
It's a free event to the community. Everybody shows up. It's great. This year we're doing a 2-day thing. First day we're doing the Battle of the Bands, the block party, all that stuff. Second day we're doing something called the Texas Creator Awards. This is something I've wanted to do for quite a while. And we'll have to watch how many of our things get nominated, because I don't want it to feel unfair. But I'm going to bring this up on the screen here real quick. This is Texas Creator Awards, guys, and it is at texascreatorawards.com. If you would mind checking it out, I'd really appreciate it. Just you can click on nominated creator. Basically, what this is for is these are awards for any type of creator in the state of Texas. So if you're in Texas or you know of people who create things in Texas, when I say create things, I mean YouTube, TikTok, I don't know what else, Instagram,
just anything,
almost
Twitch,
anything, right? It's anybody
Kick.
who creates digital stuff, right, or digital entertainment. You can nominate anybody you want right now, and then I believe it's end of January. We'll shut that down, and then we'll start the actual voting. So right now we're in nomination period. Please go nominate. Doesn't cost you a thing. If you've got somebody that you really enjoy watching, maybe us, then you could nominate them. It's just kind of a free for all right this minute, but feel like you could nominate anybody you want. Okay, so got that out of the way. TexasCreatorAwards.com. Today, we are doing season 7, episode 3, or in the year of our Lord 6 ABE 19. So this is actually from the 6th season.
This is
Bad Girls, Bad Girls. What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
This aired November 17, 2002. Connie's delinquent cousin, Ted Powell, wreaks havoc while visiting Arlen. And boy, does she.
Yeah, this is a wild episode, to say the least.
Directed by Bwaaa Lim.
Yeah, I had a snippet to say about both of those.
Lim and Clay Hall. I really hope I got those names close.
Both of those people that you mentioned worked on, let's see, Kyung-hee Lim is known for working on Rick and Morty and in Bob's Burgers as well.
Oh, okay.
She's actually a animation timer
That's
for
a good
King of
one.
the Hill. Most of her job on King of the Hill has been timing the animation. And
I did not know that. Artie says that Ted Powell is voiced by Lucy Liu. I did not.
Ted Powell is
not
voiced
know
by
that.
Lucy Liu.
Yeah,
And then
that makes sense. She says like 9 words in the whole thing.
Bwaaa Lim worked on Bob's Burgers and The Max. I don't know what The Max is. Do you know what that is?
The Max, is it with like 2 X's, 3 X's, that kind of thing?
1995-ish. Yeah.
It was a
That's
comic
it.
book to begin with. It's like this big purple guy. I can't remember exactly what it's about, but I do remember it. I think it was a Dark Horse comic.
Him and Young-hee Lim actually were nominated for a 2000 Annie Award for Outstanding Individual Achievement for directing in an animated television production for the episode Won't You Pie My Neighbor?
Won't you pie my neighbor?
P-I-M-A-I, P-my or P-me, or how do we say that? However that's pronounced. I probably butchered that. Apologize.
We butchered all the names, but we're trying. You know.
Well, I know the K is silent. It's like Young-hee Lim. And then
Young-hee Lim.
And then I know.
And Lay Hall.
H
or is that Clay Hall?
Probably Lay Hall. Lay Hall.
He said the K is silent, so it's just Lay Hall.
Well, in the I think that's Korean.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start this. Let's get out of that mire pit and let's move over to Arlen, Texas. We start over
Texas
in the alley with all 4 of them. That would be Bill, Dale, Boomhauer, and Hank, and they're all kind of just staring at something, talking to each other about it. Bill says, Q bag? Dale says, Q bod? Boom says, no, man, look like that dang old bogbo. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
I'm not sure what they're talking,
but all right.
any of them are talking about. Yeah.
Hank says, I'm not even going to give this animal the satisfaction of trying to read it. That's just what he wants. Then you get Bill. One day you're living in a paradise. Next day it's a crime-ridden slum. Society's going to hell in a handbasket. I blame the media blamers. I think that's fantastic.
I do think that's fantastic.
That is a very good joke. Then all 4 of them kind of stand up to attention because the car's coming by, so they can cover it up because they don't want them thinking going through a bad neighborhood. Like what was it, Dallas, where he locks his
debutantes
windows?
Yeah.
All right, we're at Tom Langer Middle School. We're in science class with the children's. And the science teacher says, and one more thing, people, K107 is sponsoring this year's science fair, which will now be known as Rock the Science, because you had to rock everything back in the late 90s, early 2000s. The winner gets to present their findings to Easy Ed and the Chicken Boy. So I'm assuming that is a morning show, Easy Ed and the Chicken Boy.
It sounds very morningish.
It does.
Like
it sounds like
Craddock in the morning.
Welcome to the morning zoo.
Yeah.
All right, bell rings. Joseph turns to Bobby and he says, "Dude, do you want to be my partner for the science fair? I found a dead bird in my backyard. We could probably do something with." He's the grossest kid. And Bobby says, "Thanks, Joseph, but I'd like to increase my chances of winning and decrease my chances of working. Hey, Connie, you want to be my science partner?" She says, "Oh, that'd be great. I've got about 50 awesome ideas. Well, 57 if we're allowed to use radium." You're not. You're not allowed to use radium, Mary Curie, however you say that. I'll email them to you tonight. And she packs up and leaves. And as she's leaving, she kind of looks back over her shoulder at him. Of course, Joseph trying to make everything either sexual or weird. Why are you trying to get back with her? He goes, "What? No, I'm not. It's just a science project. It's not like we're playing in a play together." "Dude, she might be thinking something else. When she walked out of the room, she looked back at you." I think you've been reading too many of your dad's romance novels." They walk out into the hall, and Joseph says, "Why else would the smartest girl in class want to work with you? You made sun tea for last year's science project." You then see Connie. She gets her stuff out of her locker. She closes it up. She looks back and she waves at him. And Bobby looks at her and goes, "Oh, uh-oh." So he is now thinking that she wants to get back together also. And it's all Joseph's damn fault.
Yeah, it is Joseph's fault.
All right. Now,
had sun tea?
He made sun tea.
Have you ever had sun tea?
I have had sun tea. Yeah. My mother used to make it. Yeah,
it's a very southern thing. I don't think you could do sun tea in Wisconsin.
Nah, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's UV rays, I would think, is what does it mostly.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the heat.
Artie says Dale reads romance novels.
He probably reads. There was a Western-ish. It's called Long Arm. It was a series of Western novels that had some risque scenes in it. They had it was I guess it was targeted mainly for men. I don't think it wasn't really like a women romance thing, but it was like a men romance thing. Well, it was like this
Howdy Long Arm
Western style thing where, gunslinging, but every now and again there would be like a brothel with some sex in it. Every book had a little bit of sex in it.
Luke says that sun tea is not common in the Midwest.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
It does have a lot to do with the heat.
I think it's the heat, because I know that whenever we would make it as kids, it would sit out on the porch.
Yeah.
It'd be 100 degrees outside plus, and you would leave it out there for like 4 or 5 hours.
I never really understood the point of it. I just boil my tea bags and I'm done.
I think it's a
Brokeback Mountain.
Well, I think that.
Yeah, I guess that was Artie.
I think
Bill,
that the thing
Bill
behind
says great grandma made sun tea. Mississippi, she was like 105 when she died. That's it. That's probably what kept her alive.
I think the sun tea thing is about back in the day. You didn't want to put the stove on.
We didn't want to heat up your house.
You didn't want to heat your house up because it was before central heat and air. So if you're making sun tea, you don't want to turn the stove or the oven on because your whole house would be, hot as hell. So maybe that's what it's for. I don't know.
All right, so we're back at the fence, and all the guys are there. They're in their full painting clothes. They've got like the jumpers on and the whole thing. They've got air compressors. They've got their paint guns. They've got rollers, all this stuff, all this equipment, right? They walk up to the fence. Bill says, "Damn, Vandal, this will probably take us hours between the joking around and the horseplay." Dale says, "And the beer runs." Hank says, "Look,
you ever had the beer runs?
Have I ever had the beer runs or gone on a beer run?"
Either.
Yes.
I'm sure you've done both.
Yes. Let's just say yes. Hank says, "Look, we're all upset, but this guy hasn't licked me yet." Bill's like, "Oh, this is going to be cool." Dale goes, "Oh, here we go." And then Hank goes, "Shh, shh," and it's gone. Like it takes like 2 seconds to do the whole damn thing. Bill goes, "Oh, that was fast." Dale looks at it and says, "You missed a spot." He goes, "I did." And then Boomhauer's, "No, man, there's a dang old shadow." And they just start putting stuff up. They're done. That's it.
That's it.
It's all over.
All of that for a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Well, they're always, the thing is that I appreciate about all four of them is that no matter what the situation is, they can all come together to, solve it. So if it's a broke down car, they're all four standing, whether it's for moral support or whatever it is. Everybody's always there to fix shit.
They always think it's going to be an adventure when it's,
and it ends up being, it's just a couple spark plugs.
All right. We're back in front of the Hill House. Bobby and Joseph ride up on their bikes. Bobby says, "Oh, I got to let her down easy. Normally I'd start with a joke, but that's how she fell for me in the first place." Joseph, "I might soften the blow. Tell her I've always been into her and that I always stare at her, not because I'm creepy, but because I'm deep. Bobby's like, I'll do what I can. There's another girl there, and he just sees her from the back and thinks that it's Connie. And he goes, "Hey, partner." The other girl kicks him, knocks him down, and then he looks up and he's all groggy and he sees double and he goes, "Oh, Connie." And then she steps over him. It's obviously not Connie. It's Ted Powell. We just don't know that yet.
Yeah.
She steps over him and he's just like, whoa. He might be smitten with this girl that just knocked him down.
Yeah, it's like it's like the
Schmitten.
I don't want to say it, but yin yang kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like Connie is like the light version, and she's like the darker version of what Connie is. Because Connie's real smart, but Tid Powell's kind of smart too. But she's smart
she's street smart
in a way that she knows how to cook dope.
Yeah. All right, so then we go into Connie's room. Connie is there on her Blueberry Mac, just typing away.
Yep.
And he comes in. Bobby comes in and says, "I knew you weren't wearing slutty lipstick." She goes, "Huh?" He goes, "I just got flipped by this girl who looked kind of like you, but she was dressed like a teenager." She goes, "It's Tid Powell, my cousin from L.A. She's sleeping in my room." All you got to do is say L.A. Bobby's in. He's like, L.A. She was so in my face, I thought she was New York, but L.A. is even better. Tid Powell comes up behind him, and Tid Powell says, "Hey, ain't you that fat kid who jumped me?" He puts out his hand to shake it and goes, yes, I am, Bobby Hill. She does not shake his hand. No. He says, "So, Tid Powell, how long are you going to be here on this on the third coast?" It's not the third coast, it's Texas. She says, "Till I ain't." And then she just kind of relaxes on Connie's bed. Connie says, "She's here for the rest of the semester. Not that anyone asked me. And while you're here, stop attacking people. This isn't LA where anything goes, where it's cool to take me to Knott's Berry Farm and totally ditch me." And then we see a picture of Bobby and Connie together. And Tid Powell says, "Whoa, sorry, I didn't know I was smacking down your boyfriend." She goes, "Boyfriend? Well, he goes, "I'm not. We're just science partners, nothing more."
Did you just do the Knott's Berry Farm line?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. My brain blanked, I guess, when you said that.
All good. You got a Knott's Berry thing? You ever been to Knott's Berry Farm?
No, I've never been to LA. California's never been like big on my list of places to go.
I want to say there's a couple of Knott's Berry Farms, but I'm not. Totally
I'm not really
sure.
savvy on Knott's Berry Farm. Now, LA or that whole coast over there.
Yeah.
The only places that I've really ever wanted to go is like North Cali or Oregon, Washington, but I haven't made it out that far just yet.
I've been to Seattle a couple of times. Been to San Francisco a time or two. Went to San Jose, and then went to some other town. And I can't remember what the town was called, but went there for my stepson and my daughter-in-law's marriage. She's Indian, and so we had like a 3-day wedding there in California. That was a big deal.
One of the bucket list items is I want to drive from San Diego to Washington. I want to drive the whole. There's like a coastal highway that you can take pretty much the whole way up.
Yeah,
that's one of the bucket lists.
That'd be cool. Tid Powell is just like, whatever, peace. She leaves the room. Bobby says, "Catch you later." Then he goes over to Connie and says, "Catch you later" still a cool phrase, isn't it? I mean, have you ever used it? She goes, "No." He goes, "Oh, okay." So he knows it's not cool, I guess, if Connie doesn't say it. We're back in science class. There's a science teacher talking. He's standing at the front of the class with Tid Powell. He says, "Everybody, we have a new student, Tid Powell. Now, I know there are a number of ways we can make fun of her name, like Kung Pao or I suppose Tid Poo, but let's have none of that." So
why would you arm the children?
I don't know.
It's like handing them a loaded insult thing. Like here you go. Here's a few insults that you could use for this person. That's so.
We got a couple of things here. Blah, 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 blah. Says one farm in Buena Park. Okay. And I'm assuming that you're talking Knott's Berry Farm. Pill says, I was raised just outside LA. First time I went to Texas, I was like under 10. I asked my mom why everyone is so nice. Okay.
And then Artie
he's talking about Knott's Berry Farm. He says it was great in 1980. He loved it when he went. Loved it better than Disneyland when he was 12. Which, I mean, I get it. It's probably friendlier, I would assume.
Yeah,
it's smaller.
I'm like I said, I'm not even sure what the hell it is.
Do
they sell jam?
No, it's like a it's like a Six Flags, basically, is what it is.
Oh, so so in Texas, that is our big amusement thing is Six Flags.
Yeah,
we had 3 of them at one point
because there were Six Flags. over Texas.
Was there one in Houston?
Oh, it was Astro World. Yeah,
It's not there no more.
it
huh?
was a Six Flags Astro World. It's not there anymore. No,
But they have the one in San Antonio still, right?
yeah, the one in San Antonio, which is Six Flags shit, I don't know.
Fiesta,
Yeah, Fiesta, Texas,
Texas.
and then
One in Dallas.
Yeah, it
Arlington,
says they
wherever
become
it's at.
not scary farms for Halloween. So see, it's the same kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. So if everybody doesn't know,
Arlington, San Antonio, and then there's some outside.
yeah, there was
of
one
Texas.
in New Orleans, the abandoned one or whatever after Hurricane
That
Katrina.
was
So
fun.
everybody who doesn't know Texas, at one point or another, there's been Six Flags
The go
that have
bots of
been
Six
over
Flags.
Texas. You have this the Spanish flag, the Mexican flag, the French flag, the Confederate flag, and the American flag, and the flag of the Republic of Texas.
That's 6.
So
There
there's
you
your
go.
6 Flags. Oh, French. I forgot. Did I say French? Spanish.
That's 7.
Spanish, French, Mexican, Texas flag of its own country, Confederate flag, and the U.S. flag. That's 6. Because
Okay.
we did. I
There
don't
you go.
understand when or where, but we were under French rule. They have it in Austin actually. So if anybody's ever in Austin, the consulate or whatever they had, the French government of Texas, there's still a building somewhere in Austin. I see like driving around Austin and stuff. I would see signs for it, but I never drove past it or made a point to like, dog leg to it. But
There's
yeah,
also a
so-
sign out there by where I live by this company that makes they say they make like the finest in substitute foods or something like that.
What
It's
you mean, like
very like
plant-based foods? Or?
Area 51-y kind of sounding the way they
Yeah, that
I
sounds
don't
kind of
know.
crazy.
I want to go find out what they do.
Yeah, we got to check that out.
All right. So he says, don't call her Tid Pooh. And then he's talking to her in front of the class. He says, so do you enjoy exploring the mysteries of the world of science? And she looks at him and goes, do you? He goes, yes. And then she just walks to her seat. Bobby says, did you see how she turned it around on him? Talking to Joseph. Then the teacher again, okay, Tid Pal will need a partner for the science fair. I assume Joseph is available. Jeez, that's a low blow. Joseph says, I don't want Tid Pal. I want Connie. And he looks at Bobby and says, you want Tid Pal. And Bobby looks back. He sees Connie working like normal. Then he looks back and sees Tid Pal, and she's leaning back in her chair, and she's blowing big bubbles with her bubble gum and stuff. And she just doesn't give a crap. And he goes, oh, that whole family is hot.
Very LA. Yeah.
All right, so we're back in Connie's room. She's on her computer. He's on the bed. She says we could do something with photosynthesis, but that's not very sexy. And of course, mitochondrial cell swapping has been done to death. He goes, Connie, I think we should switch partners. She says, what? You asked me to be your partner. Now you blow me off? Great, fine. You and Joseph have fun. So what's it going to be? Paper airplanes? How a rock works? She says, actually, I want to work with Tid Powell. She says, but she's just a stuck-up wise ass who wears too much makeup. And the real reason her parents made her leave L.A. is because her grades are slipping. That's right, slipping.
Yeah, slipping.
He says, so she's not book smart. She gets an A and cool. He leaves, and there's Joseph right in the freaking window like a creeper.
Big creeper.
And he goes, hi, science partner. You want to see a dead bird? It's just the creepiest fucking thing.
That is
I wanna
pretty
see a
creepy.
dead
Yeah.
bird.
You want to see a dead bird?
All right. Tid Powell's outside. She's leaning up against the fence. She's on a cell phone. She says, man, I hate it here. I just want to come home. And then we see this other girl on the other end of the phone who obviously is in LA. Her friend, I don't know who she is. She says, too soon, Q-Bag. You know what I'm saying? Oliveira street queens are still going off about the kilo you stole. Yo, just stay away, yo. That's a lot of yos.
There's a lot of yos.
Tid Powell says, yeah, maybe I should give back what I took from him.
I never understood yo, where it's etymology.
Same thing as bra now.
Well, it's etymology. Bra comes from bro or brother. Where does yo come from?
Yo comes from
You? Like yo, you. Hey,
yeah,
you.
something like
Yo.
that, I would imagine. Yeah.
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 Well, if anybody has any information
yo,
on the
yeah.
etymology of the word yo.
You
yeah.
yeet. Yeet? I don't know.
Yeah.
And Tid Powell says, I guess I'll just have to cook it up myself. I got to get a hold of some equipment. Bobby walks up, and on the other end of the phone, you hear, you better be careful, girl. People probably got their eye on you. She says, no sweat. I can con one of these inbred hicks to do my dirty work for me. Of course, Bobby, hi. She says, hold on. Yo, Cleo, that hot dude. Oh, so it's Cleo on the other end. Yo, Cleo, that hot dude from next door is here. Call you back. She does not think he's hot. She doesn't think he's hot. She just wants to use him. He goes, will you be my science fair partner? She goes, science partners, huh? Sounds cool. He goes, all right. I mean, sup. And that is our first commercial break. We will take that, and we will be
Right back.
You got it. Hey there, look at us, we're back.
And we're back.
You came up with the etymology of the word yo.
Yeah, so I went ahead and looked that up while I was on our little slight break there. So the etymology of the word yo actually it comes from Middle English in the 15th century, believe it or not. But it wasn't popularized until the 40s. It was popularized by the Italian American community in Philadelphia. So it was used a lot in Philadelphia in that time frame, and then it spread throughout Philadelphia, and it spread to the African American community in Philadelphia, and then it started to appear frequently in hip hop music, and it has become associated with African American vernacular English, which is a whole Wikipedia article on its own, and first seen in the title Yo MTV Raps, which is a popular hip hop music program in the late 80s for those that know. So there you go. It started in the 40s with Italian Americans saying, yo, what's up, brother? And kind of spread throughout. So there you go.
I don't know that I've ever used that correctly. I don't know that I've ever just gone, yo.
Hey, yo.
I don't.
Well, I say, hey, yo. I say that a lot. Hey, yo.
Yeah, I've just never been that guy.
Like trying to get somebody's attention. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. All right, so we got all the guys looking at the new graffiti on the fence because some new graffiti showed up. Bill's like, see, I was right. It's Q bag. There's a Q, and that's clearly bag. Well, that's a great explanation.
That's
and then you hear from Dale. Gentlemen, I believe I've solved our graffiti problem. We built a protective razor wire top fence around our existing fence. He's got a big-ass spool of razor wire, which is scary as hell. Hank looks at him and goes, dang it, Dale. That's genius. I mean, you think he's gonna yell at him, but he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what we need to do." And then you hear, "Indeed, I will use this salami to simulate what the stuff will do to a vandal's arm." He starts like banging it against it, and it does nothing. He tries sawing it with it, it does nothing. He goes, "Huh? We need a real arm, Bill." Like, and here's the thing: it doesn't show it, but I have no doubt that Bill just handed him his arm. Like, just here you go, try this. All right, we're at Tom Landry Middle School again. Tom Landry Middle School, for those who are keeping track. We're in front of the lockers. Bobby says, hey, Tid Pal, I've been jamming on some science fair ideas. I got some notions involving goggles and some kind of beaker. Why don't we get together tonight for a brainstorming session, see where it takes us? It's just the two of them. Tid Pal, well, Connie's standing there. She says, don't worry about it. I already got an idea. He goes, awesome. I'll pick you up at 7. They walk off, and Connie looks pissed. She does not look
She's not happy. I feel like there might be a little bit of jealousy, maybe a little bit of jealousy going on. That Bobby is hers.
She immediately hates Tid Pal, number one, and then number two, yeah, there is jealousy there. I think.
Well,
she's always going to be jealous.
She probably knows the only reason that she's has to live with her is because she was being bad in LA and her parents shipped her out to Texas.
It could be.
It's that trope where
grades are slipping.
I mean, it happens a lot in TV and stuff where the cousin has to live with you because the cousin is being bad wherever they're at, and their parents have shipped them away. West Philadelphia, born and raised. That whole show is about him, cutting up in Philly and getting shipped off to his uncle. So I think this is that type of situation where Tid Pal is obviously stealing.
It's a bad seed.
Stealing kilos of cocaine from drug dealers.
It seems a little worse than the other stuff we've seen.
Yeah, it seems pretty tough.
All right, so we're in the kitchen with Bobby and Luann sitting at the breakfast table. He says, "Luann, you're the hippest person I know." Wow. I need to take Tid Pal someplace that's not boring. Sophisticated but close enough that I can ride my bike. She goes, okay. It's exciting. That place where you bet on which chicken is madder. What the hell is she talking about?
She's talking about rooster fights, which is really funny that she mentions rooster fights because my dad
think of that.
My dad had a friend that was one of his high school buddies that he reconnected with like 20 years after high school.
Chicken fights.
And funny enough, one of my real close friends in high school used to date this guy's daughter, and we used to go to his house. He lived out in the middle of nowhere in a little town called Watt, which is off by the drag strip, Prairie Hill. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody else ain't gonna know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
And when I first went to his house, I was like, oh, cool, you got chickens, but you go out in his backyard and it's all fighting roosters.
Yikes.
He's got like 20 or 30 roosters for fighting, and he would go because it's legal in Oklahoma. So he would take the roosters and he would train them at home, and then he would take them to Oklahoma to go fight them. But it's funny that they mentioned cockfighting in this because
fix it, Oklahoma.
I saw less than legal training of chicken fights, and Man, that is
where is Luann going to rooster fights?
That is
But-
insane. Yeah, that's what. Well, you got to understand. Luann is she's not necessarily hip in the way that Bobby says, but she probably
Well, I mean, I guess
goes to some seedy places.
she found a cult. You know.
Yeah, she's
She
probably
found a
hanging
cult.
out in some seedy places. She likes guys on motorcycles and stuff like that. So
True.
she probably ends up in places that are, a little sketchy.
You want to hear my Buckley?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
That's it. That's it.
Hey.
Peggy, of course.
I wonder
is-
if Buckley's ghost comes back in the.
Oh God, I would love that.
What if it's Buckley and Luann's ghost?
Oh, they're finally together in heaven.
Yeah,
But
maybe they
then
do
where's
that.
Lucky?
Probably in hell. He's
All
not innocent enough, I feel like, to make it to heaven.
Peggy
Buckley
sits,
was a teenager, so he made it to heaven just because he was, he never made it to an adulthood.
Peggy
but-
sets down her coffee because she's always listening. Obviously, I could not help it overhearing, and I cannot help but make some suggestions. Well, yes, you can, and yes, you can. Here's what to do: the Pioneer Women's Museum. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bobby says, Mom, I'm looking for cool, not lame. Lame? Well, maybe you think it's lame to spend an evening with costumes and artifacts used by our foremothers. Well, yeah. I think every teenager would think that's
I've
lame.
never heard anybody use the expression "foremothers" either.
Foremothers. All right, now we're at the mall, and we're at the business called Showbiz Sushi. Now,
Okay.
I have a question for you, and this is probably for you and Artie, because Artie is our. Oh yeah, Luann is the girl in the trailer next door.
Yeah, she
you got
definitely
that
is.
right. So Showbiz Sushi, is this what took place of the Showbiz Deli?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think it's the
Yeah.
same place,
It's probably the same place. Yeah,
and
and it's similar. Here they talk about defrosting the
Uh-huh.
salmon and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's probably a gout infested building.
but the guy that waits on them in here, he just sounds like Principal Moss.
Yeah.
And then at one point they call him Carl. So I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I guess the guy's name was Carl. I wonder if he was. I can't really remember, but I wonder if the guy's name was Carl in the other episode. In that episode, but Carl is actually voiced by. Give me just 2 seconds here.
Oh yeah, you're right,
Uh,
Artie. He said 2 episodes ago he was forced to go to the Mennonites on
Yeah,
a date.
absolutely.
That's true. That's
Oh
true.
yeah, so it is the exact same guy too. So Carl is the owner of Showbiz Sushi.
Uh-huh.
His restaurant was previously the Showbiz Deli. So
Okay.
he did rebrand,
That's
and
what
his
I thought.
voice is actually Dennis Berkeley, who voices
Principal
Carl Moss.
Yeah. Same thing.
I think that's the only voices he does is Carl Moss, and it's funny that both of their names are Carl.
Yeah, they're both named Carl. I just wonder if
And-
the guy can't answer to anything else.
But the funny thing is one is with a C, so it's Carl Moss, the principal, with a C, and then it's Carl Moss, the owner of Showbiz Deli / Showbiz Sushi, with a K. Carl with a K.
So this is Bobby and Tid Powell sitting in the sushi place. He goes, I bet you thought we were too hick to have sushi in Arlen. And a year ago you would have been right.
Oh, and not to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
that is another voice they would have to recast if they had Carl Moss come back. Rest in peace, Dennis Berkeley, the voice of
Oh really? He
him.
passed away.
died in 2013.
Huh.
Yeah, he's been
Oh,
been out
didn't know
been out of town for a while.
She's the waiter comes up, who again is just Principal Moss. I'm telling you. Says salmon's almost defrosted, so it'll be just a second. Your fries are ready though. Fries and sushi. You get this coughing because Tid Powell takes a bite and she goes, "Yo, man, this tuna's from a can."
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with tuna from.
And
a
then
can.
she throws it at the freaking wall.
You just have to get the right tuna. See, the problem is people go and get the first tuna they see. You've got to get the albacore. If you get the albacore tuna in a can, that's the best canned tuna, the albacore.
Hey, here's an idea for everybody out there: don't eat fish in a can.
I love tuna.
He goes.
Where do you get actual tuna
I don't like tuna.
You don't like
I
tuna?
don't like tuna.
You don't like
at all.
tuna
No.
steak? You ever
No,
had tuna
No,
steaks?
I don't want it.
Oh, I love
No.
tuna steak.
No,
Are you not a
just-
fish guy?
Tastes and smells like feet. I don't want it. I like some fish, not a lot of fish. I like almost any shellfish.
Okay.
But fish, it's
Crawdads,
got to
all
be
that
like
kind
a
of stuff?
white fish.
You like
know, or something
crawdads and all
like
that too?
Yeah, that's good.
Crawfish?
Yeah, it's just not a lot of food. There's not much there.
There's not. It's a lot of work for.
That's
not
what
a
I'm
lot.
saying. A lot of fish is so much work that I don't.
Shellfish,
care.
shellfish especially. Any
know what's
type
not
of
work?
shellfish is a lot of work.
You know it's not work?
What's that?
Hot dog wieners. They're not work at all.
No, they're
Just take them
not.
out, put them in the thing. Yeah.
Boil them,
They are at
Mash 'em, stick 'em in a
Showbiz
stew.
Sushi. Nothing should come out of a can. That's what Artie says, and I agree with that.
No, I agree with that. It's like HEB or whatever. Our
I do
big
like the
Texas
HEB
grocery
sushi.
store. They have a really
I do like
good
the HEB sushi.
and Sam's too. They have a really good little sushi bar where they do good
Do they?
sushi. Yeah. And
That's weird.
it's always I've never seen a white person doing the sushi. It's always they always have an Asian that's making it. So I feel like it's got to be decent.
So Bobby, seeing her throw this against the wall, says, maybe we should go roller skating. My mother clipped a coupon for me, and she's just like, because she can't believe she's stuck here. She can't believe how uncool everybody is. So immediately we go to the Pioneer Women's Museum. And they are in a wagon, and the sign in front of the wagon says, "Try our buckboard,"
whatever that is.
So it's the wagon, and so they're like bucking up and down in this thing, and Bobby's like, "Oh no, they're after us!" And she's just
it's
like,
a buckboard wagon. I got you. That's the name of the wagon.
Yeah, and she's just like, ugh. He goes, "Oh, sorry, this is crap, isn't it?" She goes, "The crappiest." She gets out and starts moving the mannequins around. And
here you go. Just real fast.
She takes one and puts a finger in a cow's nose, and he goes, "Oh, I don't think you're supposed to touch the women." She goes, "Got bugs," and she just thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. Bobby grabs a mannequin. Finally, he gets in on it, and he goes, "I think the cow wants to milk Grandma."
I had to look what a buckboard was just for specificity.
Buckley board.
However you say that word, specificity. So it is a four-wheeled wagon of simple construction meant to be drawn by a horse and or other large animal. It is a distinctly American utility vehicle. There are no springs between the body and the axle. The reason why they call it a buckboard is because the suspension is provided by flexible floorboards of the body and a leaf spring under the seat.
Yeah.
It has no sideboards on the body, leaving the floor quite mobile. In rough terrain, the floor can flex, buck, lending the vehicle its name. So it's called a buckboard because it's the construction style for the suspension is provided by the actual floorboards flexing. And have you ever ridden on an actual like period correct wagon?
No. Never had a reason to.
Well, I've been to a few like places where they do like reenactment kind stuff.
Yeah.
And the roughest shit on earth, thinking that so many people jumped on these types, even the Constanoga wagon, even though it had a suspension system that was more advanced than this, I just could not think of how rough it had to be for people going west.
Oh,
they had to have the worst back problems with spine compression and stuff like that from just
you didn't know any better though. I mean, that was just the way
3
it was,
months of just slamming.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. Sounds like my summer when I was 17. 3 months of slamming.
Yeah. It was invented by Reverend Cyrus Comstock. There you go. It was invented by a preacher. A traveling preacher invented the first one, and it was designed for personal transportation in the Adirondack Mountains in Essex County,
Adirondack. But you gotta remember that they like to flog themselves to put themselves through pain too. So
yeah,
that could be part of it.
So that was how he got around to proselytize his religion.
Yeah, I bet he did proselytize. All right, now we're at Joseph's house. It's Joseph and Connie. They're working on their project, and right behind them, the TV's got some rap videos on it. The only reason I know that is because it looks
MTV
like
raps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
She says, you know what we should do for our project? Find out how boys like Bobby could possibly be interested in some street trash like Tid Powell, which is a little rough. Joseph says, if you're tired, you could crash here. What are you talking about, Joseph?
Yeah,
you just want her to sleep so you can watch her, or what?
He probably would. Probably the kind of guy that would try to kiss her while she's sleeping or something.
Grief.
Wake up with Joseph attached to your lips.
She says, "Oh, Joseph, I don't really want to get into this again." So it's not the first time, right, that he said, "If you want to just sleep here," and then behind her on the TV, the raps get replaced with freaking Dale, who's on some sort of closed circuit television system here. And he goes, Joseph, don't forget to do the yawn and stretch. And then Joseph like tries to do the, he puts his arm behind the girl or whatever.
Yeah.
And it goes really badly.
Well, because Connie and Bobby, regardless of what's going on with them right now, they're still.
Well, it's not only that; it's
There's
just
still a
that
little
Joseph's a
something.
creep and a weirdo, and he's very cringeworthy.
There's a flame still there.
All right, so now they're walking in the alley. This is Joseph and Bobby, and Joseph says, "I'm sorry, this is Joseph and Tid Powell." Tid Powell says, "Hey, check this out." She pulls out some spray paint and starts tagging the wall there again, or the fence. He goes, "Oh, you're the one doing that? My dad keeps having to sandblast, restain, and lacquer it off." She goes, "He's the one doing that?" He goes, "You got to understand, he doesn't even approve of bumper stickers," which I can see that. I can see that.
That's funny.
She says, "Yeah, but you're cooler than that, aren't you?" He goes, "Give me a can." He starts spraying. He goes, "Check it out, girl. I'm representing." Well, he is anything but cool. All four of the guys show up behind these two. She is just gone, by the way. And Hank is very, very angry. And we get from Bill, Q-bag. We get from Dale, painter. And then Hank finally, "You inside now." And he grabs him by the ear. I mean, this is actual mad Hank. You know,
Very
sometimes
mad
you
Hank.
get irate Hank. Sometimes you get irritated Hank. You got actual mad Hank at this point. So we're in the Hill kitchen, and Hank is giving it to Bobby. "Dang it, Bobby, your mother and I took our wedding photos in front of that fence."
I think that's hilarious. I don't know why it's funny.
Good. He goes, "Man, I'm just keeping it real, dog. You never make it in L.A." Number one, shut up, Bobby. He goes, "I hope I never
please
make
be
it
quiet.
to L.A." Peggy, of course, has to say something. "I could make it in L.A. I just have very fair skin. My dermatologist said it would be a death sentence." No, they didn't, Peggy. Nobody's ever said that to you.
Just a little fun fact. We got a lot of etymology in this one because there's so much slang. Dog as like, "What's up, my dog," or whatever. DAWG. The first usage of that word, the earliest known, was by a guy named J.D. Brayshaw in 1898. I don't know what context he used it in, but DAWG.
He said it as he was falling over a dog. All right. So he's inside and he says, "I hope I never make it to LA." She says her dermatologist said it'd be a death sentence. "Well, then go, Peggy. Go." Bobby says, "What's that? I'm sorry, Mom. I couldn't hear you over the crickets and banjos." "Okay, Bobby, stop being an ass." Hank says, "Mister, if you think you're in a small town now, you're about to be the mayor of your room for a few months. I'll tell you what." And then Bobby freaking walks out, which that's not. It's funny to me that Hank lets this go. You know, that he lets him keep walking. He goes, "And stay away from that Tid Powell. I don't think I can tell you don't think I can tell the difference between her and Connie, but I can." What? Wow. Okay.
That's kind of funny.
Now we're at Cons, and Cons blessing out Tid Powell. He says, "I swear to your father, I keep you out of trouble, and now you get mixed up with Bobby Hill. What is it with you beautiful Asian girls at this stupid redneck boy? Why so self-destructive? Low self-esteem?" Tid Powell says, "Long distance, you using a calling card?" Oh, I'm sorry. She gets a phone call and says, she gets on the phone and he says, "Long distance, you using calling card?" "Of course not." And then she's just not even paying attention to Con. And again, Con just goes away also. So he just lets it drop.
Yeah.
She goes, "Yeah, stuff will be ready next week. I just got to sell it and then book back to Cali. I'll bring you a little extra for your birthday." Girl on the phone's like, "Aw." She just told her, "For your birthday, I'll bring you a little extra smack." And the girl on the other end thought it was cute. That's how that exchange just went.
Yeah. Smack, for those of you who don't know, is actually a substitute for the word heroin.
There we go.
So a little etymology for you.
Now we go over to Bobby in his room. He's got the radio on, and in the radio, you hear the guys say, "Clear your calendars, open clock." Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, folks. I've never been a DJ. "Clear your calendars, open cockpit, biplane fans. This weekend is the dedication of Arlen Airfield's new windsock." Damn, I got through it.
That's how you know they're in a really small town, because only a small
windsock
town would announce. It's not like, here in town, if the airport got a new windsock, it's not like it would be all over the news.
No.
We only get I think the only things that come in the news that people are excited about is like restaurants or coffee shops and stuff like that.
We get a lot of new like business openings, and
there's a lot of it going on since right now we're in the middle of a growth period.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of businesses opening all the time.
we get a lot of
We're getting to Sprouts. I'm pretty excited about that.
kids that are doing things that adults should do. all of that kind of stuff. We had a lot of
There was a shooting at the club the other night,
like
or
if you
something.
put a jacket on a duck, that would be on the news.
And
or
it's really
something.
weird to have, because that's not really like a place where a lot of that
Which
stuff
club?
goes on. True Love. They had
Oh,
that
yeah,
shooting,
so
and that
that-
guy
yeah.
they had a GoFundMe
Well,
going
there
for
was
one
one in
of
front of
the workers.
5 over here also. I mean, it's happened within a month. There's been 2 shootings.
You know, I'm surprised that
Just
as conservative as this area is,
Yeah.
that they don't push those clubs out of the downtown area.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm surprised that like the business owners in those areas don't lobby whoever the guy is that owns those and leases those buildings out to push the bar scene further out of the downtown area.
Well, I can give you some information on that off air. It's a very small town. Bobby, he looks out the window and he sees Ted Powell putting boxes in the shed. So he crawls out of the window. Of course, he falls out. And then he sneaks over to the shed. He gets in and he sees her setting stuff up. He goes, "Yo, Ted Powell, my dad said I couldn't see you." And I just said, "Chill, Hank. You don't tell me what." And she goes, "Close the door." And so he closes the door real crap. He closes the door real fast. And he goes, "Oh, crap. Did my dad see me? Whoa. He's looking and he sees all the beakers and the cook setup, the cook set up.
We're looking at a Breaking Bad type scenario here.
Yeah, way before Breaking Bad. He goes, "My dad said that you're a bad influence, and here you got half our science fair project done. What are we making?" She goes, "It's a candy machine." "Oh, all right. Hard candy, chewy candy, sticky candy, gummy candy." She goes, "Oh, just candy." He says, "Oh, interesting. So what's the filling? Caramel, nougat, nuts, jelly?" I mean, he's got his candy down.
He's ready for it.
She goes, "You ready to help me?" He goes, "Oh, anything, partner." She goes, "Yo, your dad works at a propane place, right?" "Yeah, I'm going to need like 4 tanks. He goes, "Ooh, I don't know. As soon as I ask him, he'll want to know what it's for. And when your name comes up, it's a no-go."
That just seems like a lot. 4 tanks. Yeah,
that is a lot. She goes, "Then don't ask him." He goes, "But," and then she kisses him. His eyes roll back into his head. And he goes, "Sometimes I overthink." And he is on the prowl at this point, right? He's on the prowl to steal some propane from his dad's place.
Which is also makes him an accessory.
Yeah, absolutely makes him an accessory. So now we're in the Hill bedroom, because how could you get through an episode and not see Hank and Peggy in bed? Hank says, "Can you believe the sass coming out of his mouth? And now it's on my fence." She goes, "Oh, come on, Hank. He's just trying to impress a girl. Remember how when we were first dating, you used to run up and down the escalators?" He goes, "Yeah, well, at least he was using paint."
The funniest thing to me is
Just up
imagining
and down.
a young Hank going up or down the escalator fast,
Well, he's running up and down the escalators
the wrong direction.
but he's looking at her and making sure she's watching and all that
Are
stuff.
you watching, Peggy? Watch me do this,
"Oh,
Peggy.
watch me run real fast. These shoes are so fast."
These are my dancing shoes.
These are my dancing shoes, and these are my running shoes.
These are my magic shoes. Mama said they'd take me anywhere. Yeah.
All right, but he was impressed that Bobby's using paint. So I
Yeah,
guess
he
that's
was.
good,
He
yeah.
was.
All right, Bobby and Ted Powell are stealing propane now. They are at the propane place, and she goes, "This is your dad's job? This place stinks." He goes, "Yeah, you think it's that bad? You should get a whiff of his overalls." He says, most of his customers pay him in manure." That's not even true at all. That's never been brought up. That is not true. I've never even seen Hank use manure other than the stuff that he spreads on his lawn. That's about it. She says, "We're going to need 2 more tanks." He goes, "But these were the only little ones outside." She goes, "So get from some inside. You already jacked his keychain. What's the biggie?" He goes, "Oh, okay." So they sneak inside. Bobby is inside kind of sneaking around. By the way, I don't ever see her inside.
No.
And he hears a noise from behind the office door. And he goes, "Oh," and he has to hide. And by the way, it's Buck. He's there having a poker game. And you hear, "Just gonna grab a soda, fellas." And then he goes out into the coffee fund. They've got a big like coffee can that I guess they all put money into so that they can buy coffee each month and things like that. And of course, he steals the money from there. And then he grabs the soda, and then he heads back into the poker game. Bobby is starting to feel it now because we're getting towards the end of the episode here. So Bobby's starting to starting to learn the lesson.
Yeah.
He looks up and he sees all the plaques with his dad on it that say that it was that his dad's employee of the month. And so he's starting to feel guilty about this.
He's getting there.
Yeah. Artie says, "Mr. Strickland stealing office money." Yep,
Yeah,
that's exactly
obviously.
right.
Well, I don't know if he can steal it
Exactly
if it's
right.
his money.
Well, if they're all putting it in for coffee, it's not his.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I see that.
All right, and that is our second break. We'll take that real quick, and we will be
Right back.
You got it.
Can't do anything right now. hardly.
Yard work.
Yeah. I
Hey,
can't
we're
do
back,
yard
by the
work.
way, and we're talking about yard work.
We're talking about yard work. Well, I got
Uh,
that whole property that we're trying to like develop or whatever, so we can put a house on it. And I can't I've got a lot of trees and stuff I got to clear out and a lot of
Oh, yeah.
overgrowth and stuff like that. And
You're just having a hard time with stamina.
I just can't
right
get
now.
out there and do it right now. Yeah.
So it's the next morning over at Strickland, and Hank is coming in. Everybody's getting ready for the day, that sort of thing. And Hank's like greeting everybody. Morning, Joe Jack. Morning, Enrique. Morning, darling. He's talking to the propane tank, one of the big propane tanks,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Morning, darling." Kind of knocks on it, you know. He doesn't hear it correctly.
It's got an odd sound to
doesn't
it,
sound just right.
like a little hollow. Like
And
if you
so
go and
he
tap on your propane
Uh-huh.
tank.
So
and-
he taps on it again. By the way, only man I know of that would be able to just tap on the tank to tell if it's lower than it was yesterday.
be Hank
And he
Hill.
goes, "Oh my God!" And then he just yells, "Mr. Strickland, we've been robbed!" And Buck comes out. Buck was just passed out on his desk, by the way. He comes out and he goes, "No, I got all spent on coffee yesterday, honest." So now Hank knows
He
that
was
there's-
admitting to something
Yeah,
that
was
he
admitting
didn't
to
even. He
something
wasn't
else.
even asking
Yeah,
about. He wasn't
something
asking about the
completely
coffee. He
different.
was wondering
Yeah.
where the propane went, not the coffee.
All right, now you got all four guys out in the alley standing there with their normal yip. And Hank is talking, "What the hell is going on in this town? First kids are spray painting fences. Now someone is stealing propane." I can understand.
You know what I find funny about this
Yeah.
part right here
Yeah.
is that he says, first kids are now someone, and the someone is the someone that is his
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, it's his son.
Yeah.
He goes, "I can understand wanting propane so bad you could steal it, but to actually go through with it, what kind of sicko would do that?" You see Bobby, he's listening from behind the sliding door. And then you hear, "Well, the propane is under my watch, so it's coming out of my pay." And of course, Bobby feels bad again. You know, this is an ongoing thing. We're starting to learn our lesson. Next, in the meth shed is what I've come to call it. Bobby says, "I was thinking maybe we could sell our first batch of candy and use the money to repay my dad. Also, I was thinking we could call them Bobby Ruths." Ted Powell says, "Forget that. I need you to jack us some cough syrup, yo, to finish our project." He goes, "More stealing? Yeah, we got heavy into that in 6th grade. It kind of played out. Now we're into asking our parents for the money and explaining what it's for." He's trying his best to get out of this. He goes, "Yeah, that's what's cool now." She goes, "Oh, come on, Q Bob." He goes, "I got $5. We can go buy a bottle of Children's Cherry." She grabs the 5 and goes, "Man, you are so weak." And she just leaves. He kind of shouts after her, "I'll meet you here before the science fair. I mean, the science phys air." It's not helping, Bobby. It's not helping.
It's not helping, Bob. No.
Later at the
you're out
shed.
of luck on this one.
Later at the shed, Bobby's just kind of pacing up and down, waiting for her to come back. Connie and Joseph come out of Joseph's garage, pushing or it might be her garage. I don't know whose garage it is, honestly, by what they say. They're pushing this big machine out of the garage, and Joseph says, "Check out this machine we made. It picks up radio signals." Connie's like, "It's an incubator, Joseph. I had the radio on in my room while I was making it." He goes, "So then the music, does it just," she goes, "So Bobby, where's your cool girlfriend?" Like, Joseph is still thinking that this picks up freaking radio signals. He's an idiot.
He's out of
He's
there.
an idiot. She goes, "So Bobby, where's your cool girlfriend?" He goes, "Oh, she'll be here." He's watching his watch. He goes, "Don't worry about that." Now you see Peggy taking the trash out, and Bobby runs up and says, "Mom, the science fair is today. I need some cough syrup." She goes, "Are you trying to be sick? Because I will put a thermometer in you before you can sit down." What?
Yeah, that one's kind of weird.
Well, I guess it's a rectal. He goes, no. I want to go to school and I want to win that science fair. And when I come home, the only thing I'm putting on Dad's fence is a blue ribbon or a Chicken Boy t-shirt. I don't remember what the prizes were. Now we're at a truck stop, and Ped Towel is over there selling drugs to a trucker. This is taking a huge leap all of a sudden. Now we're trafficking.
It gets kind of dark here. Yeah, it's a real jump.
Trucker says, "I'll be honest with you, I'm a little uncomfortable buying such a large quantity of Zoom from a 13-year-old girl." She goes, "Oh, please, mister, could I just get the deposit? I'm late for a Girl Scout meeting." He goes, "Don't you cross me, little girl." So then we're back at the shed. She comes up riding on her bike, and she's talking into a Bluetooth headset, which I thought was kind of progressive for the time that it was there. She's got her Bluetooth headset on. She's talking to the lady on the other end. She goes, "Just made my deal. Be enough to pay back the Oliveira Street Queens and fly back to Cali first class. Your punk ass picking me up at the airport?" She goes, "All right." He goes, "Great, thanks." And then she opens the shed, and there's nothing there. It's all gone. And she says a phrase. I've never heard this phrase. She goes, "Oh, this is so lemon." I understand context. Sour, bad, I guess. Just never heard anybody say that.
Yeah, I've never really heard that either.
Yeah, that's a weird one. All right, so now we're back at Tom Landry Middle School.
Hold on, I got you. This is lemon is can be slang for a number of substances. Methamphetamines, ecstasy, crack, a weak strain of marijuana, but it comes from the phrase defective, imperfect, unsatisfactory, like a lemon car.
Yeah, sure.
So,
by the way, Artie, with the one of the oldest jokes ever, what's the difference between an oral and a rectal thermometer?
The taste.
There it is. Good job. I wish I had a drum.
Taste.
There, you got it. It's a good one though. Yeah, so we're back at Tom Landry Middle School. Big old banner up that says "Rock the Science," which is just weird. And so Tidpow comes in. Bobby's there, already set up. He's getting everything ready to go. She goes, "You brought it here? God, you are one dumbass pig farmer." He goes, "What are you yelling at me for? I'm the one here rocking the science." He goes, "Now, if you're ready to make some candy, hand me that brake fluid." She kind of looks around. She sees a cop. She goes, "Ooh, what's that cop doing here?" She goes, "Oh, that's Mike Soto's dad. He's one of the judges. He was a substitute science teacher last year while he was on suspension from the force," which I don't know what he was on suspension for, but whatever. She goes, "Yo, I got 2 priors." He says, "But if you leave, you won't get any credit." She goes, "It's all yours, man." She just leaves. She is just freaking out of there. He goes, "Fine, more A's for me." Then comes Connie up to the table, and she goes, "I think somebody already did your project." "Oh yeah, it's right over there. The vending machine." I mean, that's a pretty sick burn.
Yeah.
Think about it. He goes, "Oh, that's the best you got? Maybe you need to invent a trash talking machine." She just kind of laughs at his own joke, which is insane.
Yeah.
She sees him setting everything up. It's a bunch of beakers and ammonia and fire. And I mean, there's everything there that you need to make some good meth, I guess. He goes, Ooh, I hope this candy tastes better than it smells. It's got to. It smells like cat pee." She looks for a second. She goes, "Ammonia, cough syrup, drain cleaner? Bobby, you're not making candy." She goes, "Didn't you watch that MTV special with Andy Dick? You're making methamphetamine, crystal meth, ice, crank." He goes, "What? Big deal. I made a crank machine. I'll just change the sign to how a crank is made." He goes, "Now quit blocking me from the judges." She goes, "Bobby, it's drugs, the kind you go to jail for."
I actually have a story for cooking methamphetamines. So my best friend, his neighbor's barn burnt completely to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to blame it on us for being teenagers out there just hanging out in their barn doing stuff, because we were friends with their kids. So they were all mad at us, and they were mad at everything. And then it comes out my friend's sister threw this massive party, and she ended up going to jail that night because she was 17. So they took her to jail and for providing alcohol to minors. Is what she went to jail for. While she was in jail, there was a homeless woman that she was talking to. The homeless woman was the woman who burnt the barn down.
Oh, wow.
She was cooking dope. And like, the thing with methamphetamines is there's so many different ways to do it, like the ammonia and everything. And then there's like a one where you use like lithium out of car battery, like batteries and stuff like that. But the woman was doing a quick batch method of making it and burnt this whole barn down. Not only did she burn the barn down, there was like a classic pickup truck in the barn that got burnt up, and like a bunch of other stuff that happened when we were teenagers in high school.
Those things that's happened out there.
Yeah. We were teenagers in high school when it happened, and it burnt down. This barn had been there since the like 30s or 40s. It was an old barn. It was really big barn too. So it had like a sloped roof, and at the very bottom of the roof was only probably like 4 feet off the ground. So what we would do is we would climb up to the top of that barn roof and put down like a burlap sack or a trash can lid or whatever, and we would
make it a
slide off of it and
Yeah.
launch off the roof. Yeah.
Made it into a super slide.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So he goes, "Oh my God, I swear I didn't know. She set me up. I'm just a clod hopping pig farmer who was too dumb to listen." He goes, "You were so right about her." She goes, "Yep." He says, "Connie, please think. You got to help me." She goes, "Hey, you wanted excitement? You got it." And she just walks off. He sees the cop, going around judging some stuff. And he goes, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And he's trying to rub his name off of the glass beakers and stuff. He doesn't want to get caught here. Clark Peters shows up and starts talking to the cop. "The compression generated by the air pump can launch the potato with enough force to go through a man's skull at 100 yards. I mean, it makes total sense that Clark Peters made a potato
gun. Yeah, those are fun.
Then the science teacher comes up to Bobby and goes, "Candy, Bobby, this is a refreshing change from Emily's Can Mice Swim project. Turns out they can, but not for long. Let me try a piece." I love how that's just a throwaway.
Yeah.
Turns out they can, but not for long. He goes, "Let me try a piece." He goes, "Oh, no. The experiment is a failure. I'll take the F, sir." He goes, "Oh, it's like rock candy. You know who has a sweet tooth? Officer Soto." So he pulls out a piece with tongs and he goes, "Chad." And then the cop comes over and looks at it. Bobby's really trying to get out of this. He's like, no, you can't. It's bad. It's too sweet. You'll get diarrhea. I sneezed in it. And then right as that happens, something explodes on the table.
Yep.
And so the entire thing is busted up, or most of it is busted up. And then it kind of clears, and you see Connie standing over there with the potato gun on her shoulder. She loads and shoots again. And the cop is like, "What the heck is wrong with you?" She goes, "It was an accident. Prove it wasn't, yo." And then she just walks away, like drop the mic kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Bobby gets out of it, I guess. Now, here's the thing. There's a couple of things left that we didn't take care of.
Yeah.
Number one, Bobby stole propane. Number two, isn't he supposed to be like under house arrest or whatever? I mean, there's no wrap up to the parental part of this.
Oh yeah, like he's in trouble for whatever. Yeah, I didn't really get that either.
Yeah, there's zero wrap up to that. But
they don't really discuss it, like the punishment phase.
Yeah. The next thing we see, we're on an actual farm, and it is cold as hell, and the wind is blowing, and you just hear this cowboy guy say, "I'm the last uncle you got. You screw up here, we ship you back to Grandma in Laos." And it shows Tid Powell, and she is literally shoveling manure.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing for me about the meth thing and her shooting a potato gun at it. Those things are super volatile. All the chemicals being used,
Sure.
the heat being used.
Yeah.
I imagine that the explosion would have
been an
probably
explosion.
cleared the gymnasium out.
Yeah.
And probably killed a few people.
It's a
in the process.
biohazard. It's a biohazard, I mean,
it's a pretty bad thing.
So the next thing we see, to kind of wrap this whole thing up, they're at Showbiz Sushi. It's Bobby, Peg, and Hank. The waiter comes up and says, "The yellowtail smells a little funny, but it all smells kind of funny to me." "Okay, Carl, I know who you are." Bobby says, "Well, you look at us chilling in a hip new sushi place right here in Arlen. Who needs LA? Hank holds up a piece of chicken and goes, "Oh, so this is chicken tempura, huh? It's pretty good." And then Peggy's like, "Try it with the gravy, Hank. It's good." And then you hear the waiter say, "Domo arigato," and that is it. I did not like that ending. I'm just telling you that right now. I didn't like that ending. And it's simply because there is no resolution there whatsoever.
No, they don't really explain. They don't explain the farm part. They don't explain
It's
who.
a good episode, but
It's
the ending is
obviously,
rushed.
it's obviously one of Khan's brothers.
Yes, that's what Artie said.
But
He
they don't
said
really,
it's Khan's
that's
brother.
what I already said. They don't really explain Khan's brother. They don't explain that. They don't explain that how she got sent.
I just want to see what
there's really
happened
no
to Bobby.
resolution.
I want to see what kind of trouble he got into.
Yeah. Well, it might have been one of those things. I'll take it to my grave.
You hear the credits, and then at the very end, he says, "I'm just keeping it real, Doc," and that's it.
At
That
WGBH.
is Season 7, Episode 3, Bad Girls.
Which is
What you
actually,
gonna do?
I meant to mention this at the beginning, but this is episode number 100.
5,642,000.
Oh, hold on here. 129 of King of the Hill.
129.
It's like our 300 plus, but this is 129 of King of the Hill.
All right, folks. Thank you again for being here. We really appreciate
Thank
it. That
you.
was season 7, episode 3, or 6 ABE 19 Bad Girls, Bad Girls. What you gonna do? It
What
aired
you
November
gonna do?
17th, 2002 to begin with. Let me mention this one more time. If you don't mind, I would like to, well, shoot, I thought I could. Maybe I can't. Oh, there we go. Texas Creator Awards. If you don't mind, go to TexasCreatorAwards.com and nominate your favorite creator today. Facebook, Twitter /X, Instagram, wherever people create. If they're from Texas and they create digital entertainment, please nominate them.
Yeah,
Nomination
please do.
process will be open through the end of January. After that, we'll turn it into voting. And then March 2nd, live streaming and live here in town, we will have the first annual Texas Creator Awards live on stage. And I got a lot of really cool stuff planned for that. We've got some
excited.
live performances. We've got
Are we doing something live?
we got some music. We've got all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, and Rusty will be presenting an award. He just doesn't know that yet.
Oh wow, okay.
So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty
If
excited.
you get a
about
chance,
that.
please check that out. Also, we have a Patreon that's been running. It's $3 a month. If you can help us out, we'd really appreciate it. Help us turn the lights on and keep them on.
Where are you guys hosting that at? Is it going to be at the
It's gonna be
Hippodrome?
Hippodrome. Mhm.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's at the
so,
Hippodrome.
so for those of you that don't know what the Hippodrome is, it is the premier theater in Waco here, and it's been around since the early 1900s.
100 plus years. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a big theater. They redid it all to have actual movie theaters in it as well. And I think at one point they had like 5 screens.
That I missed that. You know, that was my favorite experience to go watch movies. I'd rather go watch movies there because you hit that little button and they bring you everything
Yeah.
and you don't have to get up. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed the
food wasn't great,
experience.
but
No,
but
it wasn't great.
then
But is food great at most movie
Not really,
theaters?
not really.
No.
But then COVID hit and the ice apocalypse hit us here and
Killed their business bad.
well, it ruined a couple of the theaters. Honestly,
Oh, it did? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ended up having to get. You can any way you want to do it, Artie. Please. I
Is it the
appreciate
money that's behind it? Kind of, they got kind of like a lot of money to
Well,
fix
it's
things, or
it's the Turners, and they own a lot of stuff around. Like they own Union Grove and
Yeah.
whatever the other one over here, Union Hall and stuff.
well,
like
they're
that.
about to build that. I don't know if you saw it in the paper or anything like that. Well, I don't want to read the paper, but the online stuff. The area where the Catholic Church and AJ Moore is, that big empty space
Okay.
that's right there,
Yeah.
where that little creek is. They're going to try to turn that into a shopping center with a recirculating river that comes from the Brazos,
Oh,
and it's going to recirculate into the Brazos, and it's going to
Okay.
be a San Antonio Riverwalk type thing.
Yeah.
But they're saying since it's now, San Antonio Riverwalk was developed, some 50, 60 years ago, whenever it was, it'll be better than San Antonio's because of the newer technologies and the, everything.
okay. We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll
I'm
see what
interested to see
happens.
how it goes, but they,
I mean, the first thing that's going in down there is that big arts. It's like cultural arts center that's being built down there. The
Indian
thing-
Springs Park area.
The thing is like it's like $100 million project.
Oh wow, yeah,
And,
Waco's
you
on
know,
the up
Fiona
and up, man.
over at Creative Waco is running
got
all
you.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the up and up.
We
I-
did the
I really
we
think it's
did
gonna
the
be big.
sound and the music for the first fundraising event they had a few
Oh,
weeks
cool.
ago. And boy, anybody who's everybody here in town was there. It was I did
It's a
not
big
realize
thing,
it was
yeah.
that kind of event, but
It's a big thing. Well, I hope that
did.
all of this rejuvenation brings some cultural
Yeah,
arts to
yeah.
cult. It's been, you've been here longer than I have, obviously, but it's been a culturally dead place all through. The thing that I missed the most was Beatniks. I used to love going to Beatniks because it was like the only place that you could go to listen to like local stuff, and then Common Grounds too being one of them.
Yeah.
And there just isn't enough of that. There's more now, obviously, but I hope that we continue to get more stuff like that. And they really need to utilize the Extra Event Center. It would be cool to have like some actual, big artists come to Waco like they used to do back in the day. Elvis came to Waco even.
Well, if this
so
helps,
it's like
if this helps, Saturday night the Elvis impersonator was here over at the Hippodrome. If that helps.
yeah. I don't know if it helps.
I ended up going to two
Might
different
hurt actually.
I ended up going to 2 different Christmas parties on Saturday night,
Oh, yeah.
which, dear God. But one of the times I had to walk a lady from the bar down here over to where she was parked because I don't like the streets down here at night.
Yeah, it's kind of
especially
up and down.
because we were right over here at Marie's, which is next to Austin's on the Avenue, and
Yeah.
Austin's is not the greatest crowd sometimes.
No,
right?
it's like 5 and all that. Yeah, they're not
including
the
the
greatest
security. Security seems to be friends with everybody, so it was intimidating to anybody who walked by there. But anyway, so I walked her over to her car, and then coming back, what were we talking about? What was it? What were we just on? I lost the thread here.
crowd.
I saw, anyway, I'm walking back from taking this lady to her car, and I meet the Elvis and the
Elvis guy.
Willie Nelson impersonators just walking around downtown.
Willie Nelson has people that impersonate him.
You got it.
I didn't.
They were both there for some big impersonation concert or something at the Hippodrome. That's the big goings on.
Him and Elvis are about the
days.
same age. If Elvis were still alive, him and Willie Nelson, I think, were born in a year apart or something like that. Because Willie Nelson turned 90 this year, and so did Elvis. So
yeah. Well, guys, we thank you very much for listening to us. We probably will never have an Elvis impersonator on the show, but we'll take it.
Elvis would have lasted longer if he would have smoked weed instead of doing pills.
Yeah, you need to talk to the doctor.
Because Elvis died obviously constipated from opioids.
Yeah.
And Willie Nelson is still alive, and he just likes to smoke a little.
Well, Willie Nelson got to smoking weed because he was taking too many pills and drinking too much and all that stuff. So he got off of that.
Kicked off that, started smoking weed. So if you're on a lot of pills and a lot of alcohol, maybe smoke a joint instead.
High,
yeah. Some CBD or something.
Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate you all being here, and
we do.
We'll see you again on Friday. One thing last.
Actually, you can find us at bwaaa. That's 3 A's, KOTH. That's on most social medias. You can find us on Scoops and TikTok and Instagram and X or Twitter. I still call it Twitter. Apparently, Elon Musk has a complex about people calling it Twitter. There was a leaked deal where he was asking somebody, "Do you call X Twitter, or do you call it X?" I think the majority of people call it Twitter still. But either way, bwaaa, KOTH. You can find us on all social media. Scoops is another one if you want to check that out. And a big old Wimatanye.
Wimatanye, indeed. We'll see you next time, guys.
You gotta find a tattoo artist that'll tattoo Wimatanye on us on live. Let's talk to Scuba Belly and see how much he would charge.
bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Cat drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Drew, something King of the Hill related.
Hey, if you're still in here, we really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you guys.
And we will we'll see you again next time.
Yeah, I'm doing the Winston Churchill.
Have a good week, guys. Bye.